Alright, here we are. That's the building right over there. We just need to access right through there and then have a look around. Hopefully there's nobody camping right over in that area. We'll find out. Okay, it looks pretty bad here. Alright, here's the main line. And way down there, miles and miles, is where my freight train yard is. We got 2 tracks here. And there's a switch right up there, so they can switch from the secondary main over there, which doesn't look like it gets used much. I don't know. I'll walk over here. Yeah, I would say the secondary doesn't get used. So there is siding that we used for the loading dock. So I think we'll be able to walk up there a little ways. I don't see anybody around. Well, yeah, it doesn't look like that siding gets used anymore. Or this old secondary main. So this was a big construction building here. You'll be able to see the snow over the fence there. Up there. But this was how the trains came in to our loading dock, which is right down there. And they also had a way of getting trains into there, but obviously none of this is being used. Has been used for a very long time. Yeah, they obviously are not loading off out of here anymore. Nope. So this must have went up there and connected up, but they've removed that. See, they just cut these rails off. Don't really remember. Alright, I have no idea what this business is now. But you can see a lot of equipment is stored and so forth and so on. There used to be an old building over there. And the little metal scrapyard for the plant was back off in that corner. This darker green building right here that's separate was owned by the company, but they leased it out to other businesses. But then the main building is right up there. My guess would be that this is where that other track ran to join up down there with the one that's been cut off. That must have been how they had it rigged up. I don't have a clue what these things are. Maybe they are manufacturing them here now. Anybody got any ideas? Oh, notice the razor wire. This fence was not here when I worked here. The first year I worked here, I worked on an assembly line. And then I was promoted to the night watchman, which I really liked doing that job there. I really did. And that's what I did for about 6 years, so I'd be down here at night, walking around the building. There was no fence, no security whatsoever back then. Here's a switch here that leads from the secondary to the main. So apparently they do use it sometimes. I don't know what for. And now, getting up here, up on top there, you see that that's a ramp up there that leads to the second floor. It just was all storage in here. And this was the last building they added on. And then we'll look at that one in the middle in a minute, but that ramp had a conveyor belt that led all the way upstairs. Because there must have been 10 miles or more of conveyor belts here. Those fences over there were never there. And this place had several businesses in it. And that was our loading dock. Wow, I remember this big metal box here. This was Something to do with the railroad. It never looked like this, and it had never been broken into. What they had in here, I have no idea. But you can see the power's been cut. So it did something. But I have no idea what it did. I just remember it. Wow. This used to be a really nice place down here. Really nice, but it ain't no more. This is way worse than the freight train yard that I go to. Each one of those doors, and we're not going to be able to get a look at them, unfortunately. They were rigged up so that a truck, an 18-wheeler, could back up to them. They have planks underneath the tracks, or planks between the tracks, or they could just bring a freight car and we would load, you know, boxcars out here. I did enjoyed that for a few years there. Interesting. Wow, it is a dump over here. This is really in terrible shape. I had no idea this end of town was so bad. So the end building was the last one that was built, and then this middle section, you can see they're all different. This was built and added on, but this is the original section here, and that was all storage up and down, upstairs and downstairs. Lots and lots of storage. And then at some point they built the tunnel, and that's what that is right there. And that's how we shipped out of those doors. And now we come to where the tunnel started. There's a doorway that we can't quite see that would get unlocked and go down in there. And then a conveyor belt came out and it went in that other door. That green door straight ahead has been shortened tremendously. It used to be a lot longer. And on the other side is a door just like that. And we won't be able to go over there. And upstairs was the ladies' room. And there's a big lounge up there and everything. And they would close off that section right inside. I sure wish I could get in there and show you all that stuff. But and that's what they keep that area warm during the winter. Otherwise the whole place was just freezing cold. They made those stairs a lot bigger too. I can remember being in what was called the repack room just inside that door. And I was really sick, and it was about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I was in there just with my head laying down on one of the conveyor belts, and all of a sudden I knew I was gonna get sick. And I quickly opened that door and I got out here. Actually, I threw up once in the garbage can, and I got out here, and right there at the staircase, I was just like, it was heaving up all over the place. It was really terrible. And I can see some railroad tracks over there, but they've done away. Well, there looks like there might be some. Oh, right up there to where that railroad stopper thing is at. Boy, this place is in terrible shape. It might just be getting used for storage now. I don't know what's going on inside. I know they have tore down the big coolers. There were big coolers up front at one time. Let's go up there. Obviously a big lowboy there. Yeah, I was hoping we'd be able to get a good look at all that stuff over there. But we can't. This concrete and asphalt was never here. That flight of stairs was never here. And there was various pieces of machinery that ran outside here. And now that's all gone. And unfortunately I don't have pictures of any of that. So this is an area where I hung out a lot. Right there where the building ends. And you got that little wall of cement. I used to sit on that a lot. And just hang out here. There used to be a lot of trains. And now it's just completely different. The big refrigeration units were right up here, and I can't even see where they were at now. They got so much stuff stored. Actually, you can see the cement pad there. See how it comes out there? That's how big those refrigeration units were. There was 2 of them. All gone now. My guess would be that they're using this for just storage. And the train tracks originally going right here, and they went across this bridge and this manhole cover. I remember that. Yeah, see the bridge right there? That was the railroad tracks went across that. Yeah, I remember the railroad, the old rails that they used as a fence. Wow, that thing's like completely falling apart now. Yeah, I've been to the other side over there. I drove past that before, and it's completely inaccessible now. Definitely can't see any of that. That's where the, yeah, you can see both the paths for the 2 big refrigeration units. Right there, and then there's a little engine room. Where I worked at was upstairs there, off to the left. And there's a little bit of a loading dock way up on top. You can only see a corner of it from here. And that's where our assembly line was at. And then there was one over on the other side that was ran by another crew. Yep. A lot of good memories, that's for sure. The train tracks ran across the bridge and then joined up with the regular tracks there, so it was a 2-way siding. Now it's just a disaster area here. Well, that's about all I'm going to be able to see here. I'd spend another hour or so here if I could, but there's nothing more to see. Oh, that business there. The back door's half missing there. I bet people are living in there. Well, that was really sad to see what's become of this old workplace that I worked at from 79 to 86. It wasn't always fun and games, but it was my first real job, other than a newspaper route that I had when I was about 13, 14, 15, right around in there. But this is where it all started for me. So I walked back down the tracks to where I left the car. It's just sad to see what this building looks like. I believe the building was built in about 1931, if I remember right. Early 30s, I know that. Well, that's sad. But I finally got to come here and check out what I could of it. I sure would love to get inside, see what it looks like, but I'm sure it's completely unrecognizable now. So that's going to be it for this little trip down memory lane. It's just sad to see the place looking like this now.